will be walking through the crowd at LA's Shrine Auditorium, taking her place in the audience for the Academy Awards. Big night out west. She's a guest of her sister Ashley, who will be presenting tonight.
And we can't wait to see what they're all wearing. And we have a hint, though, and we'll tell you a little bit later. First, though, the real reason Wynonna is in Los Angeles. She kicked off her 98 tour Friday, and Today's Country was there. You're about to find out why the day gave her wedding jitters, but a shopping trip for hair color calmed her right down. Confused? Well, Jan Snyder straightens it all out and gives you a front row ticket to Wynonna in concert.
Out of the shadows came Wynonna, and the sold-out LA crowd got a taste of her brand new show.
Everybody read about it. You can buy it in the checkout line. They say I got husbands are leaving, boyfriends are calling, and promise they ain't even mine.
So after weeks of rehearsals, fine-tuning, and a few nerves, the wild one unveiled her rocking stage performance.
It's too much. It's like your wedding day. And I've had one of those, and I know what it's like. That's how I feel. I want everything to be right, but I also want to enjoy it.
I'm the kind of girl who can rock your world, love you like a hurricane.
So, you know, I'm working out. I'm trying to breathe, and I went to a beauty supply store today to help calm my nerves, buy a little product. And I'm just trying to embrace the day and enjoy it and not be so freaked out with, oh my gosh, there are 5,000 people out there.
I'll show you something that you ain't never been shown. Everybody dance.
This was just one of 2 shows in Los Angeles last weekend, and the fans went wild over why.
You got to find somebody to love you, someone who'll be there for you night and day.
It was a busy week for the redhead. In Thursday's edition of USA Today, it was announced that she would be touring with a certain crooner.
Who, Michael Bolton? Oh, that guy.
Yeah, that guy. But don't get nervous. Y's not leaving country.
Just part of my personality. I'm going to venture over into another area, which is going to make a lot of country music listeners and radio crazy. But I'm not leaving home for long. I'm going on a little vacation. I'm going to see a friend, you know.
Yeah, this is the time when I need to know.
But I'll be back. So it's just a way to broaden my horizon, to jump out there and be singing for that girl who's going, well, I didn't know she had that much soul.
You need a reason to get up in the morning. Make sure your clock has got lose control.
You know, those people don't maybe buy my records. Maybe they'll get a taste of what the Judd world is like and dig it and groove on it, and we'll see. He needs me. He needs me. And he finally figured it out.
Wynonna also appeared on The Tonight Show with Jay Leno. They've been friends for years, but Jay set himself up for trouble when he started dogging Y's dog.
Nothing is more frightening than that syphilitic dog of yours upstairs.
First of all, I'm a kind and gentle soul today, so I forgive you, Jay. But we left him a little something to remember us by. We left the studio last night.
No present for Leno.
Okay.
He deserved it.
All right.
I was just asking our producer in the control room, Ray. I said, now what is all that yellow stuff on Wynonna's hands?
Her hands
Apparently,
wrapped.
yeah, they're taped up because she is now into kickboxing.
Ah.
And so she uses her hands in the whole bit. So
Relieving the
that's
stress that way, I guess, huh?
Yeah.
Well, tonight, Wynonna is pairing up with Harry Winston. He's famous for bejeweling the stars, and like we said, she's at the Academy Awards with her sister Ashley. And we do know how Wynonna will be decked out. She's sporting a $96,000 ruby, sapphire, and diamond necklace, as well as sapphire and diamond earrings. The earrings go for $42,000.
$42,000.
And 90-something. So.
Also, her diamond Ray-Ban sunglasses will be auctioned later. The proceeds will go to one of Wynonna's favorite charities. As for the dress, her office says it is, quote, a Bordeaux burnt velvet gown by L.A. designer Jane Book.
Yeah,
so
boy.
I just cannot wait to see how the Judds look.
Exciting night.
About a year ago that she would be cured, and now that dream could become a reality if Naomi stays virus-free for a few more years. No one could be happier than her daughter Wynonna. For the first time, she's talking about her mother's new lease on life and the fight and the prayers that got the Judd family to this point. Here's Jan Snyder.
I have to resign. I have to retire from the music industry.
that I love so much.
It was almost 8 years ago when Naomi Judd made this life-altering decision. The announcement came after her diagnosis of hepatitis C. It was a major blow to her personal and professional life, but now the future looks more promising.
As far as I'm concerned, there is no more virus in my system.
Amen. God is good. I know a lot of people didn't realize that she was really that sick because her spirit is so bright and she shines, that she has this glow thing happening with her. You know that. She's always been such a positive person, but that woman was very sick.
Throughout her illness, Naomi continued to make appearances and even tried her hand as restaurant entrepreneur. But more importantly, she used her celebrity status to bring more attention to the disease.
And when she got well, she went before the people in Washington and said, hey, this is a really big deal we're dealing with here. It's fourth killer in the world, and we got a problem.
Wynonna believes her mother's strong sense of hope was key to her recovery, and her family is grateful for the good news.
If it's in God's plan for you, you ask and you shall receive. I believe that Mother felt at one point, that she was going to die. We dealt with that, and then she felt better, and then she felt worse. Hepatitis C is a strange thing. It lingers. It stays a long time. But she fights it every day. But we thank God every day for the extra time.
Naomi says she is taking it one step and one day at a time. And a way she celebrated was by attending the Academy Awards this week with both Wynonna and Ashley.
These two are such nuts, we couldn't really get any straight answers from them. So when that bus pulled into Nashville last weekend, we sent a crew to find out what the Voices Tour is all about. Gail Grasso brings us this report and reveals that even though there's some serious singing going on, these two still find the time to be silly.
The things are tough all over, but I got good news. When you get down enough, you got nothing to lose.
Leave it to Wynonna to be daring, to take music categories and blur the boundaries.
I want to be able to know that I walked off stage and maybe changed somebody's mind about country music who doesn't normally go to a show and says, wow, Wynonna rocks, and goes out and discovers just how wonderful country music is. I think it's good for Michael because he desperately needs more fans, more women, so I'm good for him.
Wynonna's preaching to the choir about the power of country music, but her new touring partner has added a whole new song. Michael Bolton and Wynonna have teamed up for the Voices Tour, an unusual pairing to some, but one that works. Bringing together pop and country has been a natural experience for the performers, but a learning experience for some radio executives who don't quite know how to promote the two.
I mean, if you come from country or pop radio, I understand and respect the categories, but I don't live in them constantly. I like to be a rebel and push the envelope. So it's just been really, everybody's had to sort of say, okay, let's put our ego aside right now. How can we make this work? And that's a challenge. Michael's got soul. I knew that the minute I met him. He has passion. And I have a lot of passion, too. And I think we blend together because of that intensity and the fact that we love to sing from our toenails. Just,
They also love to play pranks on each other on stage, so it pays to have a watchful eye.
He's pretty serious. And I dare him to come out on stage when I'm out there. It would blow his whole Studley moment. So he's not going to come out on stage with me. But I've been known to come up with a couple of tricks. As the song Mojo says, I got some tricks up my sleeve.
See, she scares me. She is so mischievous. She was even teasing the audience. I mean, you should have heard the screams when Wynonna threatened to give the ladies Michael's home phone number. It's just deafening
You never
roar.
know. Well, in other Judd news, there is talk that Wynonna and Naomi will reunite for Country Fest, the big festival taking place at the Nashville Arena the weekend after Fanfare on June 20th. And here's something else for you Judd fans. Tickets are still available for a special fundraiser Naomi and Wynonna and Ashley are hosting during Fanfare this year.
Here's the invitation.
Yes.
It is June 14th, a celebrity auction. It'll cost you about $10 to get in. The invitation has chili peppers all over because, as it says, it is hot. You show up at the Wild Horse Saloon at 7 o'clock on the evening of the 14th, and you can just bid away on all kinds of memorabilia, stuff that was owned by the Judds and other celebrities. It's going to be fun.
You betcha. Money raised goes to the American Liver Foundation's Naomi Judd Research Fund.
And let me assure you, it was a farewell befitting one of the most beloved ladies in all of music history. Here's Terry Bumgarner.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound.
If it's possible to get a sense of how many lives a person touched by the number of people that want to say goodbye, then what does this tell us about Tammy Wynette? Satellites beamed her memorial service around the world, while fans waited hours and came from everywhere to attend.
When they announced it on Crook and Chase in Freeport yesterday, we left last night at 9:30 and drove all night and got here this morning.
Yeah, we were passing through for 2 days, and when this happened, we thought, well, it's a good way to show a final respect to Tammy.
What time did you get here?
5:30 a.m.
What made you want to be here so badly that you would come and stand out here for, it will be, what, 8, 9, 10 hours?
We wanted to show our
respect for her, for all she's done, and
Well,
she just loved the people, and we wanted to love her back.
It's almost like she was part of my family. I just, grew up with her. I loved her, and, when somebody in your family dies, you pay your respect.
Of course, the country music community also turned out in force to say goodbye to their friend and colleague.
Well, she was an icon, and she was very lovable. Everybody loved Tammy Wynette.
We sure have lost a lot of royalty in country music this year and the last couple of years, and Tammy Wynette is, I think, one of the biggest losses that we could possibly have.
It just doesn't seem possible. She was just so young to lose her.
Inside country music's mother church, in front of her portrait, Tammy's friends remembered her.
We'd sometimes get tired of wearing makeup and pantyhose. And we'd be getting up on our buses to get ready to put on our war paint for the show. And she'd look over at me and say, I still got my beauty parlor license. And I'd say, well, I still got my nursing license. And I always had a feeling that if she was just Tammy the beautician, and I was still Naomi the nurse, we'd still be best buds.
Dolly Parton recalled visiting Tammy in the hospital.
Tammy said, get up here in the bed with me, put me on some makeup, and fix my hair. Do something with this hair. And so I did. I was painting her up, and she said, don't you just hate our little frog hair? We always had the worst hair. We couldn't make it do anything. I said, yeah, I do. I said, but Tammy, I think that's why God gave us talent, because he screwed up our hair so bad.
Some paid their respects with music.
Precious sacred scenes unfold.
How great thou
The service's most emotional moment came from Tammy's husband of nearly 20 years, George Ritchie, who addressed the producer that discovered her.
I guess I would have to thank Billy Sherrill for finding her. Because if he hadn't found her, I'm sure I wouldn't have found her. I love you, Billy. She loved you.
I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see.
Tammy Wynette will indeed be missed.
It was good time. You love me no more.
I've always been a fan of Lyle. And he did stand by your man. I like that, too. So I just had to do something with him.
Guess it's just a girl thing. Excuse me if we expected you.
I called her from England and asked her if she would do this record with me. And she said, wait just a minute, let me get up and run around the bed for a few minutes.
And I thought, cool, you know. It's not every day that Tammy Wynette calls you. And she asked me as if she was asking me to, you know, come over to her house and visit her.
Tammy didn't limit her friendships or collaborations to country artists.
Bugs make a lot of noise. They show up about every 13 years, 17 years in some areas. These pests are driving some of the folks on Music Row out of their minds. So we sent our own little pest, Stormy Warren, to get the story.
A new vocal group in town is creating quite a buzz. They've been compared to the Beatles and the Crickets, and their sound is taking Music Row by swarm. They're called the Cicadas, and every 13 years, Nashville is inundated by the boisterous bugs.
All right, cicadas.
They're harmless little critters, actually. They don't bite, they don't scratch, they don't even drool. But they are ugly, they are loud, and there are lots of them.
Yeah, there's one right there, matter of fact. See how they like you?
Outdoor eateries like Sammy B's on Music Row are frequented by producers, singers, songwriters, and label executives. Long lunches under the sun are where deals are made, songs are picked, and artists are signed. But fear of the flying menaces is forcing industry professionals to seek shelter.
They're all inside. The cicadas don't run everybody indoors. They're getting in people's hair and in their salads, you know. Had one lady moving her salad around, found one in there the other day.
But just because you're inside doesn't mean you can escape the cicada's wrath. Kevin Lane, publicist for Mercury Records, has watched in horror as hundreds of the insect have smacked into his office window, many falling to their death.
Just outside here in the trees right behind me, I see hundreds of them kind of careening back and forth between the trees, and having the mirrored office as we do, they oftentimes get a little confused and fly right into the window, and they seem to like fall off somewhere down below me, and occasionally you'll see them kind of fly up a little dazed, but I don't think some of them make it.
But a couple of his co-workers on the promotion staff, Norbert Nix and Michael Powers, see marketing potential in the noisy critters.
Well, I think the important thing when talking about problems is how can we profit from that? And that's what we do here. We do. Cicada sandwich. The most popular thing we've come up with, cicada in a box. Cicada bag stuffed with cicadas. Oh, no. That's what we do.
Entertainers usually enjoy performing outdoors in the summertime, but not this year. Wynonna shudders at what might have happened if a cicada had come too close to her powerful pipes.
Can you imagine what that would do to my vocal cords? No one else on it.
Say something. Come on, say something. You've been yelling for the last 4 weeks. Come on.
Well, welcome to Country Fest 98. You know, last year it was in Dallas at the Texas Motor Speedway, but this year it is in the Nashville Arena. And I'm going to be indoors with the stars backstage.
Nice and cool.
Yeah, and Stormy's going to be outside.
Where it's not. But I'll be out with the cool people. All the fun and events of Country Fest 98 block party are right out here. I'm going to go check it out.
Yeah, right. Stay cool.
Thanks.
Party time! Yeah!
It was cool inside the arena, but the music was hot. Steve Warner helped kick things off with the Kinleys.
You ain't gonna be my hangman. I ain't gonna wear no news.
And Wynonna introduced the crowd to an unsuspecting audience member and 21-year-old blues guitar whiz Kenny Wayne Shepherd, who played on Y's latest record.
He's young, he's probably a knucklehead like I was, and I want to meet him because, I don't know, I appreciate the fact, too, that he works with his dad, so, you know, it's a family thing, so I don't know, it just felt right.
I wonder how it feels outside.
Lisa, you may be in the air-conditioned comfort of the arena, but I'm out here with the real cool people, isn't that right?